How did we miss this? How could we let this happen?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another live video. What is going on, man? Eric, what's up? What is happening? What's up, y'all? Oh man, we got a lot to talk about tonight. How's everybody doing? Let me turn this down just a little bit. What's happening, Eric? It's so good to see you, man. You too, Marcus. What's up, Marcus? Easy's here. What's up? How's everybody doing? Man, we have a lot to talk about tonight. Hope everybody's doing well. It's good to see you, Eric. Yeah, I already know about the FARC and everything down there in Colombia. Yes, I do know about that already. Yeah, I do know about the FARC, and the guerrillas are fighting. The paramilitary is fighting the government. Because remember I told you guys the peace process, it kind of like folded in 2016. So they're back at it fighting again. Because I kind of seen that the peace process was falling apart. So I knew there was going to be some fighting going on between these two groups. But the mayor of Medellin said he's all over it. So they caught some of the people that did some of the terrorist attacks. And yeah, there were several terrorist attacks down there too. But guess what? I'm still going. Hey, if this is your first time on my live, can you do a favor for me and please like and subscribe to the channel? Please hit that like button. Everybody that comes in here, hit that like button, because what it does, it really helps the algorithm very, very much. Okay, I am a small channel and I'm trying to grow, but I need that algorithm to help push the video, okay? So make sure when y'all come in, make sure you guys like the channel. Okay, we got a lot of interesting things talked about today. We're going to talk a little bit about the economic collapse. World War III is getting closer. Things is getting crazy over there in Ukraine. And we need to get prepared for what's to come. There's a lot of Americans that are getting evicted out of their apartments, and they're getting evicted out of their homes because of the high unemployment, and people is finding it hard to make ends meet. And then we're going to go over into the travel space. There was another foreigner that got robbed and drugged in Bogota. There's a lot of drugging. There's a lot of people become a victim of scopolamine in Bogota. I think it's even worse than Medellin. The amount of people that are getting drugged in Bogota is a lot. I think just about every single night, it's like maybe a dozen people are getting drugged by scopolamine in Bogota. I think Bogota's worse than Medellin, because they got the stuff that they blow it in your face. They'll walk up to you and blow that powder right in your face. And if you inhale it, it will get you. It will get you. So if you walk around Bogota at night in the nightlife, I would advise you to put a mask on. Just like, you remember during the pandemic when we put the mask over our nose and mouth? You might have to do that in Bogota because they are scoping people like crazy over there. You gotta really be careful. You gotta be on your P's and Q's, okay? You gotta be, you gotta be aware of your surroundings. Okay, we're getting ready to jump right into the subjects, and we have a lot to talk about tonight, so let's get it going.
Tony Rome Live.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another live. Welcome to the Tony Rome Live. It's good to see everybody again. We got to see everybody. I'm still waiting for more people to come into the chat. Marcus, you are always here, man. You are my number one cheerleader. Marcus, you are the number one man. I watched that woman you told me, about Lynette Zane. I thought she was going to tell me where to invest. And like you said, examples like Robin Hood. Yeah, she is a gold expert. Lynette Zane is a gold expert. And I'm telling you guys, one thing about this channel. I'm going to always tell you the truth, okay? Everything that I predicted, even on the Raise channel, and now I got my own channel. Everything I told you is coming true. It came true. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to tell you something. I don't make no money on this lives or doing this channel at all. Not very little. I come on here every week because I want to bring you the truth. That's what I want to do, to let you know what you're getting ready to face. Okay? So the first thing we're going to jump into right now is World War III. And you know what? Things in Ukraine is getting out of hand. You remember I told you guys, I said that eventually NATO is going to get involved in what's going on in Ukraine. You remember? You remember that? I told y'all that. I said that things was going to continue to get worse and worse and worse and worse. I told you that. Now, guess what? This war, the war in Ukraine is spilling over into Romania, and it's spilling over into Poland. So now Vladimir Putin just declared that he's at war with NATO. Check this out.
Credible deterrence, and if required.
Hold on for a second.
The United States stands by our NATO allies, and rest assured, we will defend every inch of NATO territory.
The United States is helping NATO after more Russian drones invaded NATO's airspaces in Poland and Romania over the weekend. France did send jets up to patrol the skies as a precaution. Now, a spokesperson for Russian President Vladimir Putin said this morning NATO is now, quote, at war with Russia. And meantime, Ukrainian drones hit a major Russian oil refinery on Sunday. President Volodymyr Zelensky says his country will be targeted more. He wants NATO to ramp up sanctions against Russia. And President Trump agrees if Europe stops trading Russian fuel.
The most effective sanctions, the ones that will work the fastest, are the sanctions on Russia's oil refineries, its terminals, oil depots. Russia's war is essentially a function of oil.
They're my friends, but they're buying oil from Russia. So we can't be expected to be the only ones that are, full bore.
NATO says Russia's drone deployments are meant to distract from Russia's invasion of Ukraine.
Russia says NATO is at war with Moscow. The Kremlin argues that this claim comes from the way Western nations have come together to back Ukraine.
And see, this is what I was afraid of. Now you're dragging NATO into the war now. So now you're looking at World War III now. Because now Germany talking about getting involved. Now you got Poland getting involved. And now you got Romania. And then the other is going to follow. And then what you're going to have the BRICS countries that are going to defend Russia, which is China.
Through weapon deliveries, intelligence support and military deployments on NATO's eastern flank. Now, Moscow frames this as both direct and indirect involvement, describing the conflict as an open confrontation with the West.
NATO is at war with Russia. This is obvious and does not require any additional evidence. NATO is de facto involved in this war. NATO provides both indirect and direct support to the Kyiv regime. Therefore, we can say with absolute certainty that NATO is at war with Russia.
For the Kremlin, NATO's weapon deliveries, intelligence sharing, and now its military build-up in the Eastern Europe amounts to active participation in the conflict, and on the ground, NATO forces are indeed stepping up their presence. In Lithuania, Germany has deployed thousands of troops and nearly 1,000 armored vehicles as a part of NATO's Grand Eagle exercise. They say the mission is about deterrence, but Moscow sees this as a proof that NATO is now involved.
Yep, NATO's now involved. I knew that was going to happen. Now you got the Germans involved. So you got Romania, you got Poland. Now you have German, and then pretty soon you're going to get the British that's going to get involved too. This is what I was afraid of. This is what I'm saying. This is World War III. It's getting ready to play out. Because I knew that Zelensky needed help fighting that war in Ukraine. So now the war is spilling over into other countries now. And so it's getting really messy. So this is going to get nasty, man.
Germany, in this case, sends by commitments by three elements: providing credible deterrence, and, if required, the readiness to defend NATO territory in this country. Second, by providing credible and robust and deployable forces. And thirdly, it's about reliability. Reliable forces with regards to our allies, to our partners, to this country, Lithuania.
Yes, China has a very powerful military force.
This German
Absolutely.
brigade, 2,000 soldiers strong, is a part of NATO's expanded eastern flank. Earlier this year, Chancellor Friedrich Merz vowed to defend every inch of NATO territory. That pledge is now visible in Lithuania's forests and training grounds. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte said the move follows Russian drone incursion in Polish airspace, calling Moscow's actions reckless. The mission includes air and ground assets from allies including France, Germany, Denmark and the UK.
In the early hours of Wednesday, September 10th, numerous Russian drones violated Polish airspace. NATO's air defenses were activated and successfully ensured the defense of NATO territory. Whilst this was the largest concentration of violations of NATO airspace that we have seen, what happened on Wednesday was not an isolated incident.
Yep, there you go.
Russia's recklessness in the air along our eastern flank is increasing in frequency. And today, General Kinkowicz and I are here to announce that NATO...
Because what's happening is you got Russian planes flying over Poland and Romania airspace. They're flying in each other's airspace. As a matter of fact, the other day, the Polish military had to shoot down multiple Russian drones. Russia got those drones, had those drones attacked. So everything is spilling over. You know what I'm saying? So this is going to get continuously to grow, to get worse and worse and worse. And then you're going to have the U.S. going to get involved. And they got it so good. Yeah, they do, absolutely.
NATO is launching Eastern Sentry to bolster our posture even further along our eastern flank. This military activity will commence in the coming days and will involve a range of assets from allies including Denmark, France, United Kingdom, Germany and others.
See, here we go. See, that's what I'm saying. Let's get ready to be a showdown, man.
In the neighboring Poland, French Rafale fighter jets were seen in the sky under Operation Eastern Sentry. The deployment also follows Russian drone incursion into Polish airspace earlier this month, the first time a NATO territory had been directly violated in this way. The French Air Force says the jets are equipped for air-to-air combat, reinforcing NATO's air shield in Eastern Europe. So when Peskov says NATO is at war with Russia, it reflects Moscow's view of these deployments. German armor in Lithuania, French jets in Poland are more than just routine deterrents. For the Kremlin, they amount to NATO's involvement in the conflict. Meanwhile, in the United States, President Donald Trump has been pressing European allies to go further in their sanctions against Russia. Speaking to reporters in New Jersey, he said Europe was still buying Russian oil, undercutting the pressure campaign. Listen to this.
Well, they're not doing the job. NATO has to get together. Europe has to get together and do it. Look, Europe they're my friends. But they're buying oil from Russia.
I'm on my way to Colombia.
So we can't be expected to be the only ones that are, full bore. But Europe is buying oil from Russia. I don't want them to buy oil. And the sanctions that they're putting on are not tough enough. And I'm willing to do sanctions, but they're going to have to toughen up their sanctions commensurate with what I'm doing.
Trump suggested he may have to personally step in to mediate between Vladimir Putin and Volodymyr Zelensky, saying the relationship is so strained that bringing them to a table will be extremely difficult.
And I stopped 7 wars.
You tried that before.
I thought this was going to be an easy one for me, but this has turned out to be tough. The hatred between Zelensky and Putin is unfathomable.
Do you still believe that they will talk? That they will have a...
I don't know. I think I'm going to have to do all the talking. They hate each other.
Yeah, they do. They hate each other.
I don't know. Relatively so.
Has any of the NATO...
We're going to get it worked out one way or the other, but relatively so.
Has any of the NATO...
They hate each other so much.
There's nothing Trump can really do. There's nothing he can really do.
So I'm going to have to get...
This war is going to happen. It's going to be World War III.
Trump's comment highlight ongoing differences within NATO, the United States pressing for stronger sanctions while European members continue to focus on troop deployment and air defense along the eastern flank. Moscow describes these measures as NATO's involvement in the conflict, while the alliance insists they are just defensive steps. The contrast shows how differently both sides view the same actions. We'll continue following how this story unfolds and keep you updated with the latest. Stay tuned to Money Control for more global updates. Thank you for watching.
Welcome to Money Control.
Like I told you guys, get ready. Get ready, because I tell you, it's going to be another lockdown. When this war get into full-fledged, if you're going to travel, you better travel now and do what you're going to do now. You better do what you're going to do now while you can do it. That's why I'm getting ready to go back to Medellin in a few weeks, maybe about 2 weeks. Now I'm getting everything together. I will be there. And guess what? I got something to tell you guys. I got a new friend. Her name is Cookie. Yep, I met a new friend. Her name is Cookie. That's what I call her. So I got Barbie and Cookie. They're waiting for me. But guys, you need to get ready, man. Get your, pay off your debt. Let me turn this music off just a little bit too loud. Just a little bit too loud. Okay. Yeah, man. Get your money together. Pay off your debt. If you're gonna live abroad, you better do it now. You need to set up an appointment with Austin Hollister. Consultation about maybe living in Nairobi, Kenya, or somewhere. FB, what's up? Yeah, I gotta be careful. Yeah, I gotta be very careful. Absolutely. How you doing, brother? You're a new subscriber, man. Welcome to the channel, man. Welcome to the channel. Glad to have you, man. I am so glad to have you. Yeah, I'm going. I'm not going to tell exactly what day when I'm going to get there, because the last time I went there, somebody was waiting for me when I got off the plane. Somebody that I didn't even know. Somebody that I didn't even know was asking me, so, what you're doing in Medellin, maybe we could take a cab. I ain't getting no cab in, jumping in no cab with you. I'm not getting no ride with you. I don't even know who you are. That was weird. He like he really knew me, Said, are you Tony Rome? I said, yeah. There's a lot of weirdos out there. I've been watching. Okay, cool. I hope you really enjoyed the channel. Man, I hope you really enjoyed the content. Let's see. I'm afraid to go back to Europe because it may be another war. It's going to be another war, man. Europe is getting rough. Easy. Romania and Poland and Germany is already stepped up. That's NATO. So Turkey, all those other countries is going to follow. All the NATO countries is going to wage war with Russia. Okay, this is what I was afraid of. I was hoping that the war in Ukraine would come to an end. I thought, listen, unless you would say, you know what, okay, let Russia, because Russia controls 20% of eastern, Russia controls 20% of eastern Ukraine, which sits on the borders of all those other countries. Okay, so that Putin is not going to allow, ballistic missiles and all these things, right at the border of Russia. He's not going to allow that. He told that he don't want no. He said, Vladimir Putin specifically said, I do not want NATO countries on the border of Russia. He specifically said that. But this is what I was afraid of. Now you're starting to see. I kind of think something like this was going to happen. So now you're seeing these other. First, it was just Ukraine fighting Russia by itself, and sometimes you have NATO countries, giving them supplies and ammunition, and helping them financially. United States was doing the same thing too. But now the war is spilling over into their country now, because there have been several times that Poland had to scramble fighter jets to get Russia out of their airspace. So Russia has just officially declared that we are at war with NATO. That is the beginning of World War III. So I would encourage you guys to please, if you're going to travel, if you're going to do something, you better do it now. Because once this stuff starts to jump off like it is, you ain't going to be going nowhere. It's going to be just like the pandemic, but probably even worse. Everything I predicted to y'all, it always come true. I'm not fear-mongering. I'm just saying, get it in, whatever you have to do. Do what you have to do. Pay off your debt. Please get out of debt. You don't want to have no debt right now. You know what I'm saying? Pay off your house. If some of you guys have homes and things, try to pay that off. You know what I'm saying? Invest in gold, like I've been telling you all to do. Like I told Marcus to do. He just listened to Lynette saying. Because, a lot of this stuff I talk about, but nobody want to listen to. See, the thing that I'm trying to tell y'all, it's okay to have girls, but I'm not going to have videos all the time about who has the biggest hams and, who got the biggest cakes and all that. There's nothing wrong with that, because when I bring this new content from Colombia, I'm going to have girls in my videos. I am. There's nothing wrong with that. But everything is not fun. I don't want to have a channel that I'm always talking about how many girls I slept with, how many girls I smashed, or I was with this Brazilian girl, I was with no. Life is more than that. And what I've been trying to tell you guys, you only live. Guess what? Let me tell y'all something. I just had a birthday on September 11th. Yes. Y'all give me a birthday present. Send me a super chat or something for my birthday, okay? Yeah, I just had a birthday on September 11th. And can you believe that I will be 61? I am 61 years old. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. 61 years old. I can't believe it. I used to joke about being 60 years old. When I was in my 30s, when I was in my 30s, somebody said, "How old are you?" I said, "Well, I'm 61." I said, "You lying. You're not 61. You're just joking." Bam, I wake up and I'm really actually 61 years old. Yes, but I feel good though. God is good, man. So I'm just telling you, man, don't waste your life because it goes by very fast. It goes by very fast. Before you know, I'm going to be 62. And next thing you know it, you'll be 65. Then next thing you know it, you're going to be 70. If you keep on living. But I just thank God that I am still here. I am still alive. I'm still healthy. I thank Him for the life, health, and my strength. I thank God for that. God is good, man. He's been good to me, man. I'm still able to travel. I'm traveling in a few weeks. So I'm still doing good. Still got nice guns. See this? Look at this. This don't look bad. Look at this. Look at these muscles. Not bad for a 61-year-old man, huh? Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. So get yourself together. Now what I'm gonna do is, if I start getting more people to help support this channel and stuff, I can start maybe on one segment and tell you someone, because I started off. Thank you, FB. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you, FB. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I want to start getting into investment. Maybe have like a segment of this live where we could talk about investment. I can show you my portfolio, what I got to invest in. Because you got to do something, man. I'm going to show y'all some stuff that's going to blow your mind on this live. And this is very, very important. Things getting ready to change, man. But you know what? I'm going to tell you something else. This is to Chris, too. I want you to hear this, too, Chris. I heard some things that Donald Trump is trying to do with the dollar. That's a little concerning. With that stable coin. I heard that they want to change the dollar into a cryptocurrency, basically, okay? And then what they can do is they can actually change how they can ping the dollar. Okay, like $1 is equivalent to one stable coin. But they think what he's trying to do is he's trying to sell the debt into cryptocurrency. Because we're $37 trillion of debt, right? So if he converts everything into the stable coin, which Lynette Zane talked about, then he can actually ping it down to say, well, each stable coin is worth 50 cents. So that would knock the debt down by 50%. But I don't think it's going to work because people are complaining about it. Looking for more ideas to invest money in. Yeah. I would like to do that, but I need more support from you guys, though, man. Because if I'm going to be spending time doing research and all this stuff, it all depends on what y'all put into this, I got to go back to Europe for 2 months, but I want to leave. Yeah, you have to leave as soon as possible. Yeah, you have to leave as soon as possible, easy. I'll leave Colombia easy or the U.S. Yeah. You said leave Colombia. No, I think he's in Colombia still. I think Easy is still in Colombia, but he's from Europe. I don't to be in Europe before. Yeah, I know. And then you don't know, and then we got a situation in Venezuela right now. Tony, no disrespect. Do you think there's more support is worth waiting for, especially what you said? Tony, no disrespect. I don't think more support is worth waiting for, especially. Well, I need more participation. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to tell you something. Every live that I come on here, it takes about a week to, like this live that I'm doing right now, it takes about a week to do. YouTube is not easy. It's not. Everybody think YouTube is easy. You just hop on here and no. It takes years to perfect YouTube. It takes years. Some people have been on here for 10 or 15 years. But I'm saying, if I come out and give you guys material about investing, and then there's nobody here, because sometimes I don't even have nobody on the live. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. If war happens, they would that's what I'm saying. They would lock the countries down. If war happens, they will lock the country down. So whatever it is you about to do it quickly. Because I'm going over there and I pray to God I'll be able to get back. But I'm preparing myself just in case if something jumps off over there. See, what really scares me about the situation that's happening in Venezuela, what's really scaring me a little bit, what got me concerned, that if they start firing weapons into Venezuela and Venezuela's firing weapons back, they're going to close that airspace. They're going to close that airspace. You ain't going to be able to fly in and out of Colombia. I guarantee you. They're going to close that airspace. You will not be able to go in and out of Colombia if there's a war that breaks up between the U.S. and Venezuela. I guarantee you that. Because planes do not like to fly around war, especially commercial airlines. They don't. Somebody can fire a missile, you can go off course, and they would shut that airspace down. It would be like the pandemic again in Colombia. They would shut the ports down. They would shut, just like they did with the pandemic. But this time, this will be war, which will be even worse. I'm not saying that this is going to happen. I'm not saying that this is going to happen. I hope it doesn't, but it doesn't look good. Now you got NATO involved in this war in Ukraine. This does not look good at all. I wish I could have moved to Colombia. Because, see, I'm still working now. You know what I'm saying? I'm still working. I still have a job here. I still got to pay bills. You got to pay bills. You know what I'm saying? I wish I could move to Colombia, but when you move abroad, you got to have multiple streams of income. I've heard, you know what, FB, I've heard so many stories. I have heard so many stories of people going to Thailand, going to the Philippines, okay? And they go over there and they go broke. They become homeless. I know a guy that was in Thailand. He was begging for money. He got on I think he had a YouTube channel or something, and he was begging for money. But he had to go home anyway. And now he's living in his mom's basement. You got to be ready when you travel. You got to be ready when you expat over into another country. Now, there's a possibility, because next year I will be eligible for Social Security. But the problem with Social Security is that I'm not for sure if it's true, but they say Social Security will be insolvent in 5 years. I hope that's not true. Venezuela neighboring countries are Colombia. Yeah, Colombia and Ecuador. Their flags already kind of look familiar. Yeah. Yep, let's see. No commercial flights in the wars. Nope, no commercial flights. No commercial flights. And this thing with Ukraine is getting worse. Now you got NATO in it. I was really hoping that Zelensky said, okay, him and Putin was going to get together. Him and Vladimir Putin was going to get together and say, okay, some of the territories you can keep, and maybe we can make some type of deal. But they didn't make a deal. It's gotten worse. Yeah, they're bleeding them dry. Yeah. I've heard stories about guys in Thailand gives women $50,000. I mean, these guys will actually sell their house. They will actually sell their house. Okay? And get the money and they put it in a trust or a savings account, whatever they do with the money they got from their house. They would go over to Thailand or to the Philippines or one of those countries, fall in love with the girl, and spend all of their money. And they have absolutely nothing. It's a guy that lost, I did a video on this. There was a guy that lost $50,000. $50,000. Yeah, Thailand is very far away. Yes, Thailand is very far away. That's why I never went there, because it's too far. I either go to South America, to Colombia, because Colombia is only 12 hours away from me. You know what I'm saying? And it's not that far away from Miami, just in case if something happens, you know what I'm saying? But when I retire, you know, if the economy is good and if I'm able to retire, then I would be able to go to places like Thailand or the Philippines or those places, because you just can't go to Thailand and be there for 2 weeks. I do when I go to Colombia. I used to stay for about 2 weeks. You know, that's not bad, but when you go to Brazil or Thailand, you at least need to be there a month at the most. I bet you didn't test these girls' character either. They just let their business down. No, that they did. I mean, there was a guy. I'm telling you, I've seen someone that actually lost $400,000. I don't know what these men be thinking. I don't know what be on their mind. You know what I'm saying? But we get ready to talk about this, okay? But I got some more very devastating news with the economic collapse. I got some more some bad news. And that's another problem that we're facing. Let me tell y'all this. We are headed not towards a recession, but we are headed towards a depression. And people all over the country is feeling it. I'm going to let y'all listen to some of the testimonials of what's happening, because on this channel, I'm going to always bring you the truth. That's what this channel was made for, to bring you the truth of what's happening. That's why you guys come here every weekend, because you want to know what's going on. I was one of the first ones that broke the story in Medellin when there was a constant flow of scopolamine was unaliving foreigners like almost every day when I was there. And I found that very disturbing. And I contacted Razor Rays, and I got on his channel. I said, Razor, something bad is going on in Medellin right now. They are finding people unalive in their hotels, in their Airbnbs, by unknown substances. By unknown substance, which was scopolamine overdose. So I said, you know what? I gotta get my own channel. I gotta get my own channel. So I had to always beg everybody else to come on their channel. I was always begging someone, oh man, let me on your channel, man. Let me on your channel. Let me on your channel. I got something, there's something going on here. But that's why I have my own channel. Business being letting your guard down, not being alert. Yeah, some of them just very careless. A lot of these people are just very careless. They are very extremely careless about these women. I don't know what it is about them, but it seems they just let their guards completely down. But when you lose like thousands of dollars, like $100,000, and you sell your house and then you go broke, in Thailand and you don't have nowhere to go. Let me tell you what the girl did. The Thai girl coerced him to move together in the house. She was watching this guy. She was studying this guy. All this time she was studying this guy. And she walked up to him and approached him and coerced him, talking about, I'm looking for a relationship. I'm looking for a man. And people just fall for it. So she turns around and she said, why are you living in a hotel room? why don't we move together and get a house? But this is where he messed up at. This is where he messed up at. He said, he said that he found that, well, he already knew this, that if you are in Thailand, you're not able to own real estate, property. You have to be a Thai citizen. You have to be, you have to be from Thailand, been born in Thailand before you can buy property, to buy real estate. So she said, why don't we put the real estate in my name? You can give me the money. We can go up there and we can buy the house and we can be together. This guy, he goes to the bank. He withdraws $50,000 out of the bank and gives it to a Thai girl to buy the house. To make a long story short, guess what she does? She says she has something that she has to take care of. She has to leave town. Okay? So she leaves town and she totally disappears. She disappears. She disappears. He calls her family. They haven't seen her. He calls her phone. Phone was off the hook. You know what I'm saying? The phone was off the hook. He couldn't contact her. Didn't know where she was. And the house that they bought, she changed all the locks in the house. And he found out that she sold the house. She flipped the house. She bought the house and she flipped it for the cash and took off. And he was standing there looking like a fool. So she just walked away with $50,000. This is what's happening. This is what's happening. What's up? What's up, babe? You all right, brother? It's so good to see you, my brother. Yeah, that means foreigners must be. Yeah, they only get rent, but they can't own anything in Thailand. You can't own no property unless you're not from there. You have to be a native citizen of Thailand to own property. Nobody, if you're from the States or anywhere, you cannot own property in Thailand. You can't. Sell a house. Foreigners have no rights. Rights. Foreigners have no rights in Thailand. Absolutely. No rights. Sounds like that she also did a quick amount of time. She did it very quick. As soon as she sent the money, as soon as she sent the money, no, as soon as she got the money, I'm sorry. She bought the house. They stayed in it for a few days. She took off, never came back. Never came back. And he tried to get legal help, but they laughed. He said that the police officers laughed at him. They laughed at him. Yes, marriage is a fraud in these countries. Thailand, Colombia for starters. Yeah. We gotta be careful in Colombia. I think the worst thing I ever seen is what happened to what's the name of that guy? Oh my God, what's his name? The one in Barranquilla. Man, his name was just right on the tip of my tongue. The guy that was unalive. They think it was a setup. His name is Reeve. The guy that was unalive in Barranquilla. Help me out a little bit, Chris. Who was that guy's name? This has been repeated so many times by desperate men in the Philippines. Yeah, they desperate. That is sickening. What's the name of that guy? His name is Reed, but his first name is the one that was gunned down. He was going to buy a restaurant in Barranquilla. What was his name? That was a very sad situation. Yeah, Nigerians may have some scams too. Of course they do. Absolutely. Timothy Reed. Yes. Timothy Reed. Yes, that's the guy. That was, yeah, Timothy. That was cold-blooded there, man. Yup, Timothy Rivera Reed. Yup, that was cold-blooded there, man. That was cold-blooded. And you know what's so sad about it? He knew something was wrong. He could feel death. He could feel it. He was very uncomfortable. If I would have felt that way, I would have got the heck out of Colombia, man, quickly. Let me tell you guys something. When you get those type of feelings like that, you better get the heck out of there. Timothy Reed, yeah, that was crazy, man. Yeah, he still never got the restaurant. Nope. He never got anything. That was bizarre. Yeah, that was. Yeah, that was that. You gotta know what you're doing when you buy real estate in other countries, especially in Colombia. When you moving around $200,000, man, you better be poor. You better know what you're doing. That can be to your end, bro. You gotta know what you're doing when you're moving that type of cash around in a foreign country, especially during the pandemic. That happened during the pandemic. And you got people who's hungry, who's not working. And here it is, you walking around with $200,000. Yeah, that's what he should have did. Yeah. He did everything on his own. Yeah, he drew a lot of attention on himself. That's one thing you do not want to do in a foreign country is bring unnecessary attention to yourself. You do not want to do that. Yeah, that was horrible. Yeah, that was horrible. That was terrible. Yes, they did. Yep, they did. They did. He did. He didn't know what he was doing. He went down there by himself. I would never, let me tell you something. The girls I know down there are good girls, the ones I know. Some of them I've been knowing for years. But I would never go down there telling them I'm walking around with $200,000 on me. You crazy? Yes. Yep, they will. There's a whole different system down there. Don't flex, don't even do it. No, I don't. Nope, I don't. Nope. I don't wear no jewelry like this. Nothing. No necklaces, no nothing. And the phone I got is this one right here. You'll never see me with no iPhone. Never. Never. Again, for this lifestyle, stay on the topic, particularly what's happened last week. I don't want to draw the trolls here in this sauce. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, okay. Well, I got some more economic collapse in there. I got two more stuff to share with you guys, man. I got something that's going to blow your mind. But what I'm going to tell you is this is what's happening all across the country. And that's why I bring this to you. You got to get prepared for what's going to happen. And I got something very surprising to show you towards the end. Okay, so we got a few more things to get through. But check this out, and this is scary. This is really scary, and this is happening more and more and more and more. Okay.
How bad the job market is right now. I got laid off about 36 days ago. Probably 200 applications in. Out of that, probably 25 rejection letters. Signed up at Walmart for a job. Signed with the local Publix, my grocery store, for a job. No interviews, no contacts. Out of all the applications I put in, I've had 2 interviews. Been ghosted probably 15 times. Then I decided, well, you know what? I'll do DoorDash. Went to do DoorDash. Couldn't get on in the area. Your zone is full. Can't even do DoorDash. That's how bad it is. I've been aged out 36 days. This is the longest I've ever been without a job ever in my life. 23 years in the military, master's degree, bachelor's, tons of experience. Can't find anything.
I'm a recruiter and I work in the life sciences industry. I posted a position yesterday on LinkedIn for a data scientist role. The role's remote. It filters out anyone that doesn't live in the US, has knockout questions for people just to make sure that they meet the qualifications for the role. So active applications, I log in today, over 600. Taking a look through all of the applications, every single person is qualified. I have to go through and reject over 600 people for a job that these people probably well deserve because our market is crashing. I've never seen anything like this in the 11 years that I've been recruiting.
I got you,
The
Chris.
job market is awful right now.
I got you, Chris.
It's taken me a long time to get to the point where I wanted to actually come on here and post a video, but I'm really at the end of my rope and I'm not sure what else to do. So a little bit of backstory. I worked as a director of client delivery and also a director of operations at a Fortune 15 organization for the last 2 years. Before that, I was a director of operations at a different company. So I've worked really hard. I have 3 degrees. I have an MBA. Worked really hard throughout my life to get into corporate America and rise through the ranks and do a really good job. Loved my job, was at a great organization, but corporate America, and I was laid off with 136 of my colleagues back in November of 2024. I knew the job market was brutal. I didn't realize it was this brutal. I still have not found employment. I've applied to well over 300 jobs. I've had some interviews. I get to final rounds. It's always somebody else that they go with. So I know that it's not my experience. It's just someone maybe that has more experience than I do. I don't know. But I'm at the point where I've exhausted everything. I'm a single parent, so I'm the only earner. I have exhausted my severance package. I've exhausted my savings. I've exhausted my Fidelity accounts, all of my stock. Everything's gone. I'm down to the last.
Let me tell you something. The unemployment rate and jobs are drying up. They are drying up. There was a guy that said that you can't even get a DoorDash job now. That's how bad it's going. I got much more for you. I got more for you.
Last bit to get me through the next few weeks. On top of it, my landlord has told me that he is selling the house that I rent from him that I've been in for the last 3 years. He's selling that at the end of my lease, which is up at the end of August. So if you know anything about renting, you can't go get a new place if you can't show proof of employment. So I'm at a loss. I'm not really sure what to do.
I got a job offer for a place, a tanning salon, a managerial position, right? Required my bachelor's
Yeah, maybe one of the videos is repeated. Yeah, you're right, Marcus. But most of these I know.
degree. I was like, yeah, of course. This is good. This is good. I'll be working different environment. I like, makeup, blah, blah, blah. $14 an hour. $14 an hour. What? I wouldn't have been able to eat with $14 an hour. Like, it required my bachelor's degree. I went to the interview. I almost took the job, honestly. But I didn't. I said I would rather be unemployed. I mean, that's just ridiculous. And this is a tanning salon that is very well known. I'm pretty sure it's in every state. It is so baffling that they're paying their people like that, especially how overpriced their shit is.
So I just came out of the City of Burbank job fair and media expo where there were no jobs available. It was about 2,000 people, including me, holding resumes, and a bunch of tents of people, I guess, promoting their businesses, I guess, and no one was hiring at all, including the company that just laid me off. were about 100 people in line to talk to them. And then there was just like a lady from there being like, if you're trying to drop off a resume, just go online. It's all online. I talked to a lady from the Burbank Library. She's like, we're here to answer questions about the library. And I was like, okay, are you guys hiring? And she was like, I don't know, go online. Anyway, it was awful and demoralizing, but I did it. I gave it a try. I can say I tried. Do better, City of Burbank. There are a lot of people out there looking for jobs right now, and I think I was not the only one who expected there to be some people hiring at the job fair.
I'm to the point, I miss the days when you had to just go into a physical location, fill out an application, and you had one interview, you sat down, you talked to the freaking owner of the business, and at the end of it, you were offered a job or you were told no. I mean, I miss those days. Why in the flying fuck do we have, why is it the way that it is today? I mean, two interviews and the questions that are asked, my goodness, I have never been asked such stupid ass questions in my entire life. The lady literally asked me, are you kind? What the fuck? How does, like, what the fuck? How does, I don't understand. I'm going crazy. Like, are you guys hiring or not? Just, it's that simple. I'm fed the fuck up. I'm fed the fuck up, and I know I cannot be the only one fed the fuck up with the job market and how things are operating today. It's just,
yeah, the good old days were definitely so much better.
Laid off from my corporate job yesterday. And I think that this is the reality for a lot of Americans right now, and it needs to be shared because America is not doing well right now. We have a 94% prediction rate that the recession is going to come, but yet our frickin' administration hasn't even made the move to actually say that a recession is coming. And let's actually call it what it is, a depression. People can't afford groceries, they can't afford rent, they can't afford buying houses, they can't afford having babies, they can't afford having the kids in general if they already have them. We are not in a good spot, y'all. I know that I'm just a number in a company, but I thought I was okay. You're going to think that you're okay because you've worked there for so long or you have the right experience. Like, you guys, I have an undergraduate in marketing, a master's in business, 6 years of paid social media experience, both on a strategist and manager level. I have done people management for at least 3 years. I'm a senior level in my career. And yet, when I was hired to do a senior level role, I was forced into entry level positions. I was doing entry-level work as a senior-level strategist, all while at the same time being asked to reduce my workload with AI, and our team was having layoffs every 3 months. I should have seen it coming. I really should have. But the thing is that it was not something that I saw coming, because the day before that they laid me off, I was literally talking coverage plans with another employee who was going on leave for months. How am I supposed to sit there and not think that I'm safe in that moment? I just think it's absolutely ridiculous that we live in a world like this where my manager wasn't even the one that fired me, by the way, or laid me off. It was frickin' HR, and they read off a script.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Anti-Danes would kick them down, not knowing their whole situation. Yeah, but this is a depression that's coming because more and more and more people. What's happening is you have more people looking for jobs than jobs that are available. And people are very afraid. They don't know what to do. Look at their faces. This is happening all over the United States. People are getting laid off. People are losing their jobs. And I'm telling you guys, prepare yourself. They say that you should have enough for your rent to last you for 6 months. And I got more to show you guys too.
But my whole team got laid off.
The whole team.
And this is the reality for a lot of Americans right now. My partner is a first responder, so I'm very lucky for the fact that I can be leaning on him for support right now, because luckily his job is secure, thanks to the fact that number one, his job is essential, and number two, he has a union behind him. What I will never understand is why corporate agencies have not unionized. We're not allowed, right? We're not allowed. That's part of it. We'll get fired because at least in this corporate world, they're always going to side on the side of business because that's what's making the government money. This world right now is not supporting people. It is supporting business. You are just a number, unfortunately. So please prepare yourself for shit like this. I wish I would have.
Yeah,
I wish I'd been
yourself
applying to other
first.
jobs months ago. I just was so dumb to not realize the signs. I want to talk about it. I think people need to talk about it. I think we need to make this more public. We all saw the jobs report. It was awful. Getting laid off on the day that the jobs report goes out, and it's 22,000 instead of 75,000 new jobs. You know how discouraging that is?
There was 22,000 jobs in the month of August. That's like one of the lowest job reports ever, in a very long time. So what you guys are seeing is less jobs are becoming available than, let me tell you something, there's less jobs available and more people that need them. You know what I'm saying? And then another thing I heard, even if you apply for unemployment benefits, it can take up to 3 months to get your benefits.
News came out today that there are more unemployed people in America than there are job offerings or job openings. So we are inherently cooked. I know for myself that I've already been applying for jobs, and I've applied for over 1,000 jobs already in the last few months. I've had interviews that have led to nowhere. I have a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, and a technical degree, and I still can't get or break into the tech world, which is in shambles right now. But I know that it has to be more than just I'm making a career switch and I'm just I don't have a lot of experience under my belt when it comes to tech, right? It has to be a little bit more than that. And I honestly do believe that something is brewing, something is going to happen quickly.
Yes, it is.
If you have a job, which I do right now, I'm very thankful, keep your job. Stay in your job. You can look for other jobs, but don't ever quit your job because it's awful out here.
I am unemployed.
Yes, it is awful out there. So I'm telling you guys, for some financial advice, please put some money aside. At least have 6 months of rent available. Because just because you lost your job doesn't mean the rent is going to stop. They're never going to stop, and they do not care. I seen them people out here I live in an apartment complex. I seen them dump their stuff right out on the front, everything. Their dressers, their couches, everything, and they do not care. They don't care. But what's so scary about what's happening now is that people are being unemployed for longer periods of time because the jobs is not there. That's the problem. So what are these people going to do? You know what I'm saying? You got all these people unemployed. Where are they going to go? Some of y'all may have the privilege of going back with your mom or live with your dad, your mom and dad in their house, or live with a relative or something like that. You don't want to do that. Can you imagine, let me ask you a question. Can you imagine being 40 years old and you have to go live with your mom, your old grandma? You may have to go live with your aunt or something. You don't want that. Both parties are reducing middle gap. It's bad. It's real. Let me tell y'all what happened at my job. Well, I found out one part of a department is being sold to a private industry. Just like that. Nobody didn't know. It just came. So they have to rebid for their job all over again. We are headed to a depression, not a recession, a depression. And the system is being overwhelmed because I had one guy here I showed you guys. He got laid off from his job. It took him 3 months. It took him 3 months to get his unemployment benefits. He kept calling. You remember, I played that video for you guys. I played it for y'all. He kept calling the unemployment agency, finding out what's the hold up on his unemployment checks. You remember? And he kept getting a busy signal. He would get on the computer. He couldn't get nothing. He kept trying. He kept trying. So even if the unemployment benefits doesn't kick, it could take, even if you're eligible for unemployment benefits, which they don't give you very much anyway, you may have to wait up to 3 to 4 months to get your benefits. Let me ask you a question. Do you have 3 to 4 months of rent in your bank account? I'm not trying to be gloom and doom. I'm just letting y'all know what's going on out here, what's happening out here. Because the bills do not stop. So these people that you heard on here, this guy said he's been putting in applications, hundreds of applications, and nobody is calling. In normal days, when things were normal, you could be able to find a job probably within 3 months if you really be diligent. But now it's not like that anymore. Thank God, disability. There you go, brother. Yes. Yeah, Europeans are in depression very long time. Yeah. And it look like you know what? Let me tell you something. If Europe joins that war with NATO, they're going to really go into a depression. Trump's tariffs on Biden Harris open the border, misdiagnosed inflation rates, all not good. Not good. Nope, it's not. And then what's so crazy, and what's so crazy about everything is that you have high inflation. You have high inflation. You can't even get some deodorant for $10. Dry Formula Secret deodorant costs $10 just for deodorant. Yeah, bills will not stop. No, they won't. Nope. Let me tell you something. If you are 4 days late where I live at, they put something up under your door. They're already starting the eviction process and they don't care. Yes. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I have 1 month depression. Then I get used to it. Yeah. Yeah, they really having it hard. But guess what, guys? I'm going to give you an example of what an economic collapse is and what happens when you don't prepare. Yep, they have families too. Absolutely. They have families too, and they don't care. They need their money. Guess who I found? Guess who I found? I was asking about the other day, and you are not going to believe who I found. And my question was finally answered. Check this out.
I keep getting alerts, WhatsApp, email, for you guys that are looking out for a YouTuber who was based in Medellin who has not been seen recently, and some saying since last fall. But his name is Passport Dog, or he goes by Passport Dog.
Look who's back, y'all. Passport Dog.
It's your boy Passport Dog here. I'm back in America, and I'm alive and well. I'm not dead, and I'm here to clean up some rumors. Yes, I am back in the States. No, I did not get banned from Colombia for 5 years. My grandpa died and I had to go to the funeral. And I was gonna leave Colombia at the end of the year anyways. And on top of that, my passport has expired. I need a new passport. I can go to Colombia anytime I want, as soon as I get my passport. No, I did not go to jail. I've never been to jail in my life. I have a clean criminal history.
So look who's back. Passport Dog is back. He is back. No, he didn't die. No, he didn't get banned from Colombia. He's back. But I want you to follow this video. But this is very concerning. And this is what I've been telling you guys. And this is the reason why I come on here and tell you all this. So pay close attention.
I'm here in downtown Indianapolis. I really don't like this place. In my opinion, this place is cursed. I don't like Indiana. It's cold. I don't like the people. That little meme is pretty much sums everything up about Indiana, man.
Indiana, we from Indiana, we from Indiana, move. Hey, hey.
I freaking hate this place, but yep, I'm back in the States. Now we are up to date. That brings us to our current predicament, which is I am back in America and I'm broke as hell. The job market in America freaking sucks. It's like we have evolved back into the olden ages where you really need to know somebody to get a job, or you gotta really actively network to really get a good job.
You hear what he's saying? You guys hear what he's saying? He doesn't have a job. And he's looking for a job. He's broke. I'm not saying nothing bad about him. I'm not trolling him or anything like that. But this is the stuff I've been telling y'all week after week after week after week. That you have to prepare yourself. Hold on, we got more.
Job in America, because if you apply online through like Indeed and stuff like that, AI bots have taken over the whole platform, so you can't even get a job through those means anymore. You really have to go back to the olden age, which is here I am late at night, about to get ready to clock in to FedEx job. I don't even have a car. I'm driving my mom's car.
You see that? Did you hear what he just said? He said he doesn't have a car and he's driving his mom's car. So let me ask you guys a question. Let me ask you guys a serious question. Just imagine if his mom wasn't there and he didn't have his mom's car available to him. What would he have done? He was in Colombia for a while. I don't know exactly how many years, but he was there for a pretty good while. He used to do content there all the time. No, we're talking about Passport Dog. He's back. I was wondering what had happened to him because I haven't seen him in a while. I haven't seen no content coming from him in a while. I didn't know where he was, but he's back now and he explained himself. But I'm just trying to tell you, this is the reason why I bring you guys the economic collapse every week, because you got to prepare yourself for what's coming. Now he's in a situation, but he's lucky that he have his mama helping him. Just imagine if he didn't have his mama helping him. Yeah, he was there for about 3 to 5 years. Yeah, he was in Colombia. Hey, Robert Travels, what's up? Salute, Tony. Thank you for sharing that update on Passport Dog. Yeah, a lot of people were wondering where he was. Yeah, we didn't know where he was. There was a lot of rumors that he was missing, you know, but I'm glad he's okay. But he's back in the States now. But I'm trying to tell people that he's in a pretty bad predicament right now, economically. The place seems like New York, but for another rust belt, narrow-minded, fingers low, because the people biased down. Yeah. Yeah.
Broke as hell, don't even have a car, going to work at a 9-to-5 job at FedEx.
You heard that? He said he's broke as hell. He's a victim of the economic collapse. Okay, I got more. I want to share something else. We ain't done. I got to share some more with y'all. Check this out.
Let's go.
Look at this, y'all. Look at this.
I'll sleep there.
Look at this.
Yellow Tostitos.
Look at this.
Hey, Cheeto. I knew I was cooked when I said 90%.
This is the new America, y'all. Welcome to the new America, y'all. Y'all see this? This is how things is getting ready to change. And like I said, you haven't seen nothing. We have not seen nothing yet. You have not seen nothing. This is only just the beginning. So whatever you're going to do, you better do it. If you're going to go live abroad and make some things happen, you better do it now. Because I think that window is starting to shrink. I got more. Look at this.
2 hours later, 48 hours later, 8 hours later, the following Thursday, 5 minutes later, 24 hours later, much later, much later, 7 hours later, a few minutes later.
I am done trading once and for all, man. I'm done with this job. I'm done with all this stuff, man. I'm getting out of here, man. I am done, and I'm tired. This job fucking sucks.
You see, he's a victim. There you go. He's a victim of the economic collapse. The job FedEx doesn't pay nothing. It doesn't treat him right. Right? To be honest with you, can I be honest with you about this? And this is not trolling him. I'm not trolling Password Dog. I'm trying to give you guys some wisdom. He is basically homeless. He is basically homeless. Take away, for example, take away his family. What if he didn't have any family? What if his family didn't want him? What if his mom didn't help him? What if he didn't have his mom? He'd be living out on the street.
Can't stand this shit, man. And I'm out of here, bro. You want to change your life, man? First thing you got to do, man, is change your freaking environment, man. I'm getting out of here. I'm gone. I'm going back to Florida. My family's in Florida.
Wait a minute, hold on. Let me answer some of these. It was how did this start? You mean how he got back into America? I'm asking why did he end up back in the States after he was overseas? He said he came back from his grandfather. His grandfather had a funeral. He came back to the States because his grandfather passed away. But he never made it back to Colombia because he's broke. And he doesn't have a passport. He said he tried day trading and was using FedEx jobs to fund it, but lost. I don't know what he was doing. I don't trade that way. I don't do what he's doing as far as with the stock market. Let me tell you something. When you deal with the stock market, it's a long-term thing. If you're getting into the stock market to make quick money, it's not going to work out for you. Okay? The stock market, what you do is a long-term. You deal with long-term. see here. Yep, it's long term. Let me see here for a second. Sorry. Yeah, it's long term. Let's see. I don't know what he's doing. He's not showing any Colombian yams in his video. No. He's not going to be in Colombia for a while. His job probably pays more than what he's making in Colombia from. I don't know. I don't know how he stayed in Colombia as long as he did. I don't know. But he's not in Colombia anymore. I don't know what he's going to do, but he can't find a good job. And he hated that FedEx job. The FedEx job was only paying him part-time, and he probably don't have no benefits. And then another thing you guys don't understand. What do you do when you get sick? Do you have health care insurance? You know how expensive it is to go to the doctor? Do you know how expensive it is to go to the doctor and if you need any type of surgery done? You know how expensive it is to go to the dentist if you don't have dental insurance? See, this is what I'm talking about. This is if you don't plan yourself, you will end up homeless. Did you know most people is only one check away from being homeless? Statistically? Most people right now, if they lose their job, they will not have enough in their savings to carry them to pay their rent. Nope, it don't. It doesn't work like that. You're right. Yeah, he think he wanted to day trade for a living so he could go back to living abroad, but that didn't work out. No, it didn't. And he still got to get his passport. He still don't have a passport. Okay, let's see what else he got more.
Florida, there's shit popping in Florida. I tried to isolate myself, study, work, trade, didn't work out. The markets cleaned me out, broke as hell, cleaned me out, took all my money. I'm done. All this time, I wasted all this time. I was reading these books, man. Trend line trading, learning trend lines, man. Trend lines, trading chaos, man. I read this book like 3 times. Books on top of book, Jesse Livermore, trading, whatever. Anchored VWAP, hours of YouTube videos. I torrented every guru's course. I torrented all this shit. I learned all this shit. I spent all this time doing this shit. Got funded, lost money, made money, lost money. At the end of the day, I had zero. Net zero. It don't matter how much I think I know how good I am in trading. I feel like I understand this concept. I feel like I understand everything. But when you look at the bank account and the bank account zero, that tells you everything you need to know. You can't be doing this. Trading is not a viable thing to make money as a sole purpose of making money. I'm taking all this money I wasted trading, trying to be a good trader. I could invest it into an actual business, and from that business, make money and use a smart portion of that business, smart portion of that income, and invest it into trading. That's my new strategy. Financial Accounting for Dummies, one of the best books ever. The basics. You got to learn the basics. 3 bucket mastery, risk.
I don't trade that way. When you really dealing with the stock market, you have to deal with it for the long term. For retirement. The best way to invest into the stock market, and this is what I do, and I'm going to tell you all this too. You invest into the stock market to get dividends back. That's what I make. I make dividends. Like Coca-Cola stock. I own some Coca-Cola stock, right? Coca-Cola pays me dividends. Every month, every 2 months, I get maybe 15, 20, 30, 40, $50, whatever, how much I got. I get money by my money just sitting there. Because I'm going to tell you something. You got to know what to invest in. He didn't need all those books. He didn't need that. He wants a quick way out of his situation using the stock market. And that's why this is the reason why he is so frustrated with himself. But I've been investing in the stock market for a few years. I wish I would have done it a long time ago. And I would have been rich. But my portfolio is doing extremely well. And I'm looking at it as far as retirement, you know what I'm saying? Because let me tell you something, even during the Depression, what we get ready to experience, this new economic reset that we're getting ready to experience, they are still going to be winners. And you have to invest in the winner side. I'm investing in the winner side. I can tell you an investment right now that you'll never go broke, and that's gold. And that's what I told Marcus about Lynette saying, I brought her here, but nobody didn't want to listen to her. I had basically nobody on the live that wanted to listen to Lynette Zhang. And I remember let me tell you this. I remember back in 2011. I remember back in 2011 when gold prices was $600 and $500 an ounce. I remember that. And she said that the price of gold was going to triple within the next 10 years. I watched the price of gold go from $500 an ounce to now I think it's like almost $4,000 an ounce. So that's more over 100%. It's like over 300% of your investment. You know what I'm saying? So when you invest into the stock market, it has to be like, you know, for a period of time. But he just wanted something quick, you know, which he's going to frustrate himself. Let me see, I got more.
Savings, bills, basic shit. You got to do this shit. I'm talking to myself. I got to do this shit. Basic shit, savings, money for risk, investing, bills. I can't go all in it's because I'm single, because I have no kids, because I put myself in a position. I mean, I asked for this shit. I put myself in a position to take a lot of risk. But guess what? It ain't working out. So I'm getting out of here. I'm packing up my bags and I'm going to Florida.
Yep, he's very frustrated. He's going to Florida. Well, I wish him luck, but it's glad to see that he's back. Okay, I got one more for you guys. And this is the guy that got scoped in Bogota, which we're seeing more people getting scoped. Bogota, I don't know why, but I've been hearing a lot of people getting scoped in Bogota. I don't know what they're doing there. I have no idea what's going on in Bogota.
Zona Rosa or Zona T, one of the nicest areas for nightlife in Bogota, the capital city of Colombia. I personally was drugged with what is called escopamina, or what we call it in English, the street name, devil's breath. One of the most dangerous drugs in the world because it turns you into a zombie. If you guys do any research on this, besides this video, you're gonna know that what happens when people do these drugs, you can die by overdose, organs can be removed, but mostly high stakes robberies where they treat you like a zombie, moving you from ATM to ATM, emptying your apartments, doing anything under their control. I'm gonna get straight into the story.
But you know what, though? This is a common thing in Bogota, though. This is a common thing in Bogota. I can guarantee you probably tonight somewhere in Bogota, somebody got scoped.
I was on a tour going to a place called Sipacura, which is a city an hour and a half away from Bogota. I met a couple Canadian guys on the tour. We made friends. It was their last night there. One of the guys wanted to go out, have a good time. And for me being a traveler, I love nothing more than meeting other travelers, especially if they're new, and showing them what the cities are about. That Colombia or wherever I am can be a beautiful place. What ended up happening is we met that night. We went to an Irish pub full of tourists. I thought nothing of it. In Zona Rosa, one of the nicer districts of Bogota, we had a couple pints of alcohol, beer specifically, and everything was cool. We met a group of people, started talking, everything felt fine. But my spidey senses were tingling. I knew something was off. There were girls there, guys, but normally in tourist situations, it's fine. I've had many nights the same like this, but something was different. Something in my mind was saying, get out of here. And I would be telling my friend that I just met, hey man, something's weird, something's strange.
And you know what, when you get that feeling, when your spider senses goes off, that's when you should leave. That's a warning sign that you should leave. This is something that I see most tourists talk about. It's like they know that they're in danger. They see that they're in danger. They know that something is getting ready to happen, but yet still they stick with it anyway.
But the inner host of me, the guy that wanted to show him a good time, make sure that we had a lot of fun. I know it's his last night. I was like, fuck it. Let's go, let's continue, let's roll on with this. So what ended up happening was we had 2 beers, felt cool, met with a group of people, a couple girls, guys, and they said, let's go to another lounge. Let's go to another place. Maybe 11 o'clock at night.
You met with a group of people that you didn't know. You met with a group of people you didn't know. Never drink around people that you don't know. My new rule is, if I got company, I don't eat or drink anything around them. Nothing.
Not too late in Colombia. Bars close at 2, 3 in the morning, sometimes later. So I thought nothing of it. I didn't have a lot of money at the time, so I told the guy, I said, hey, if you want to pay for the lounge that we're going to, that's cool, I'll come with you. We're a team, I got your back, you got my back. For some reason, I kept saying that. Something inside of me, whether it was spiritual or mental, knew that something was going on. We go to this lounge. It was empty. And upstairs there was rooms with hot tubs, beds, couches, music. It was a very private place with a host, looked professional, but something was strange. First thing was strange, the price. It was 400,000 Colombian pesos to go in, which is like 120 or 150 American. I'm not sure, but places in Colombia are like 40 or 50.
I would have turned right back around. I said, "Yep, there we go again. Get the hell out." When you have those many warning signs like that, when you're around something that makes you feel uncomfortable, don't second guess it. Just leave. Just walk away and leave.
$50 if you want an Airbnb. So first, the price didn't match up, but number one, I wasn't paying, and number two, it was in Zona Rosa. So maybe the place was higher. It was reasonable. We ended up going there with a few people, and I felt nothing. Played some music, was chilling out, ordered some more drinks, like some Smirnoffs. I had maybe 2 sips of the Smirnoff, and then boom, cut memory.
Wow.
To this day, cut memory. That's what I remember. That's what scopamina or devil's breath does to you. You forget everything. I woke up in the morning naked and on the floor. The Canadian tourist that was with me woke me up and said, "Hey man, we got robbed." I was like, what the fuck? Like, I had no memory. My clothes were still there, my bracelet was still there, and that's it. We woke up confused. You don't remember anything except for what happened prior to. Woke up, went to the host lounge who was there, and he's like, "Yeah man, I don't know what happened. Here's 50,000 pesos so you can get a taxi and go home." So I already know this is an operation from the inside. This is not an off incident. It's a major problem in Colombia, and now it's coming to a problem around the world. But it's famous here, and it's a big tourist scam. So you need to be prepared and listen to what I'm about to tell you. So the host said, "Yeah, I don't know what happened." What am I gonna say? "Yeah, you do? Too bad. So what are you thinking? Go to the police, right?" So here's this next step. We go to his friend who didn't come, went to the apartment, used his Find My iPhone app to track his phone. We get into a taxi, we go to the area where the phone is. Mind you, our brains aren't working. You have amnesia and confusion for about 2 or 3 days up until even now. So imagine at the moment, you're confused, you have no idea what's going on, you're not thinking straight. We're just thinking, where's our shit? Where's our money? Where's our phones? We're not really thinking, what about our safety, right? Which is literally, thank God that I survived and that he survived and that we came out untouched, other than mental and emotional, of course. Because many people die in these cases. We end up getting into a taxi. No taxi wants to go into the area where that phone is. So we get out of the taxi, we find police on the street. "Hey police, we know where our phone is. It's in there. We got robbed last night and we were drugged. Let's go." The police agree. We had 4 cops with us. We go to the front of the door. It's in a ghetto area. A wooden door, like literally made out of like plywood. No numbers on it, no nothing. Police knock on the door, bang, 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 bang. Let us in, let us in. Boom, we go in. This is 8 in the morning, by the way. So my memory passed out at 11 p.m. Woke up about 6:30. This is 8 in the morning at the drug den's place. We go inside, I see 50 people, 50 Colombians, smoking drugs, chilling in this weird room. And what do I find in there? One of my bags that I traveled with. I see it on a person, police go, grab it. It's filled with women's stuff. So they've already captured it, made it their own. What I later gathered from that room is this is a big mafia or big group scam that goes on in the nights in Bogota, Colombia, where all these people are gathering the stolen goods in this room and either sharing it, selling it, dispersing it, whatever the fuck they're doing. It was a sick place. But me and my friend walked in there with the police, and you can tell right away, the police were very uncomfortable. Even though we had the location of the phone in the place and we found my bag, the police were not comfortable being there. And they said we had to go after being in there for about 3 or 4 minutes. Again, remember, time doesn't make sense to me at this point because I'm still delusional. We ended up leaving the place because the police told us to leave. I only recovered my bag, no phone, no money, of course. And I asked the police, why can't we go in there? We have reasonable grounds. We found my bag, so we know the phone is in there as well. And they said it's too dangerous to go in, and they literally walked away. Fucked us off, no report, no nothing. Listen to this part for tips. Don't wear any fancy clothes, which I wasn't. I was in a t-shirt, little shorts, and some Adidas running shoes. But you never know how or why you're going to be targeted. Be very careful who you meet. Even though people seem friendly, whether it's women or guys, or even the bartender could be in on it, you need to be very careful. Watch your drinks at all times, preferably closed bottle drinks, or don't drink at all. In my opinion, Colombia has a beautiful nightlife, but honestly, I would rather stick to during the day, 8 p.m. and below, go out for a nice dinner, and if you're gonna go out to a club, order bottled drinks and be very aware of who you meet and your surroundings. Because my spider senses were tingling, but there was no give or no show other than going to that lounge, which I knew was wrong. I felt it was wrong, but I wanted the night to continue so my friend had a good time. And when you put yourself second, or when you put your mind into a different place, shit happens. It's not the other person's fault. It's not my fault. Sometimes bad people do bad things, and it's not an individual thing. This is a group coercion. So I lost a phone, I lost money, but I kept my life and I got a little bit wiser. And as you can see, I'm still here in Cali, Colombia. This shit didn't scare me away from traveling. I hope this video doesn't deter you guys from coming to Colombia. It is a beautiful country, but no matter what zone you're in, no matter who you're with, be very careful, trust your instincts, take the safe route when you're traveling, not always crazy shit, because my life could have been over, and I'm grateful to God that I'm still here and I'm able to spread this message to you guys. This took a lot of vulnerability. I've never been this candid with the camera. There's no travel, no vida here. Subscribe, like, and comment, guys. If you have any stories, tips, or anything, put it to the comments down below. And if you guys want to go to Colombia, I still recommend it. I'm still here. But fuck, guys, be careful, because anyone could be a target.
Yep, there you got it. Yep, he was a target, man. Yep, you have to be very, very, very careful. You have to be very, very careful. Never trust nobody. I don't trust nobody. I know some really nice girls down there I'm going to meet. I got Kathy, Cookie, Barbie. All of them are very nice, very nice, very nice women. But I do not trust them. And you know what? I work in the medical field. And one thing we practice is called universal precaution. You treat everything like it's infectious. And that's the way you have to treat everybody, is use that universal precaution. Because you don't know. You know, sometimes you just don't know. You know, you have to be careful. Wow, man. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You don't know. So, well, I'm glad you guys came to the live tonight. I really appreciate it, man. I really appreciate you all coming tonight. I hope you all got something out of this. And I will be live streaming live from Colombia. This is going to be like a kind of a scary trip in a way. I just hope nothing jumps off on the Venezuela side. That's the only thing that got me a little nervous. How can they copy? I'm comfortable when he had put their job. Yeah, they got a lot of criminal groups in Colombia, Marcus. You got to go down there, man. You got to check it out, bro. There's no course when reporting to authorities of this incident. Yeah, I know. Yep. There's a lot of this type of stuff. You know what? Those cops probably see this so much. And just that's what I'm saying. It's probably nothing to them. They probably see this so much. Yeah, but you gotta be careful. So, all right, man. We're gonna get off this live, man. Yep, good seeing you, A. Good seeing you, Marcus. Good seeing you, Chris, everybody. Arizona, everybody. Good to see everybody. So y'all take care. I know y'all want to watch some football, so thanks for coming by. Peace. Thank you.